So Mike Norvell, that was his comment on the field after the game, and he's right. The atmosphere was there. We talk about the electricity of the home stadium, and when they got all their renovations done, they were ready to come out firing. Everyone was thinking they were going to come out for a paddling instead of a thumping, and they controlled the emotion of the game, the flow of the game, the scoreboard. You have to give Florida State a lot of credit. You got to give Mike Norvell a lot of credit for what he was able to do with two key hires, Leon, on both sides of the ball. Not only Gus Malzahn, but what Tony White did defensively.
Yeah, both of them did. Both of them did a fabulous job on the defensive side. They running a 3-3-5 now, some kind of defense. I had never seen the. I call it exotic. yeah. And then Gus Malzahn, he did what he did. Listen, I was impressed with Florida State, really was. The way they played, the energy they played with, the way that they got after Alabama, they out-physical them, they out-toughed them. I mean, it was, Alabama looked soft. They looked soft on both sides of the field, and that's attributed to the fact that Florida State stayed on them from the beginning to the end. I was a little nervous the first drive where Alabama went straight down and scored a touchdown, but Florida State responded, and responded well. So, I tormented them all last year when they went 2-10, so it was good to see. They stormed the freaking field. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. After that horrible season last year, I kind of gave them a pass.
Oh, they needed to exercise some demons, that's for sure.
Yeah. And thank God we won on Sunday because the former players were just texting me, take that, Cersei, take that, Cersei. I was rooting for y'all. They were like, no way you rooting for. I said, bro, I'll pick the whole state to win. And they didn't believe me.
Keep it going.
Yeah, speaking of storming the field, no shivs, at least as far as I know, there weren't any. They stormed the field. I love the headline. The ACC, give me a break. Say what you want to say, what you mean instead of this. Florida State fined for violation of ACC event security policy.
$50K.
That's how it read. The event security policy. And it's only $50,000 compared to what is the SEC right now?
I think it's $250,000.
That's what I thought. And so ACC says, give me 50, but you guys can do whatever you want, and then we'll send out something that we're scolding you.
Well, $50,000 in ACC dollars is like $5 million.
I was going to say, to be fair, $50,000 in Florida State is a lot of money right now.
That's hefty. Man. That's hefty. All right, so let's just stay on the game, stay on the teams a little bit more FSU than Alabama, because we know that Kalen DeBoer has got his challenges. They are on him. But the fact that the defense was able to basically eat up everything that Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb were supposed to be bringing to the table offensively. Ty Simpson, you can say he sucked, you can clobber him, but he was fighting for his life basically the whole day. Like you said, the Caden Proctors of the world, they were worked by that Florida State defense. Give that side of the ball credit.
And Tyson didn't have any help. They couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, so they made it one-dimensional. And so they Florida State say, you can't beat us. Your first time starting, you can't beat us. We're going to stop the run, and we're going to make you the quarterback beat us. And he couldn't.
Yeah.
Plus, let's be honest. He's just a guy, man.
He is.
Yeah.
Which is what we've been saying all along. He's just a guy.
I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it with Ryan Grubb as the offensive coordinator, and I thought that there would be a chance that you would see more than what you hadn't seen up until this point, because you didn't know he was, quote, a 5-star, but never really beat anybody out. And so he comes rolling in, and the atmosphere was great. He may grow into a better player when he gets back to T-Town and can play at home, but the defense and really the attitude that they had on that side of the ball, flying around, blowing people up. One of our texters earlier, you think Alabama misses Earl Little Jr.? One of your old phenoms. How old were they when you were coaching
he was
him?
8 years old.
He was 8 years old.
I was his flag football coach.
Yeah. And Earl Little Jr. made himself some plays the other day.
He did.
Alabama misses Mac Jones. Alabama misses Waddle and Devonta Smith.
Yes.
That's what Alabama misses.
But here's the other part of it.
Alabama misses Nick.
Yeah, I was going to say the other part of it is they were getting coached by somebody else that made sure they were all great. Ryan Williams is still a great player, but is getting killed because there's nothing else out there to take a defense's attention away.
The most insulting thing was Alabama fans saying that Ty Simpson was going to be Mac Jones. Like number one, Mac Jones is just a guy, which is ridiculous. Mac Jones played at the same time as Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts. But Ty Simpson played at the same time as Jalen Milroe and couldn't win the job for 4 years.
Yeah, but Mac did wait his turn, so that's probably what they're saying is that when he finally got on the field.
Right, but my point is Mac didn't get on the field because he had two studs there.
I get that part of it. This is now to the FSU side instead of the Bash Alabama side, because you did say Florida State, you had a feeling was going to be better in this game than most people thought. So we're focusing on that side.
I just thought they'd play hard because you could just tell by the way he shut it down in the offseason. He wasn't talking to anybody. He wasn't allowing people into the program. They came here to practice for 2 days, and typically when they do that, it's wide open. Anybody can come watch them, and he shut that down. There was something going on there. I think he was trying to completely get them zeroed in on it's just about us, not about anything else. And I think last year, after that, whatever you want to call it, snub, whatever, they weren't snubbed. Their quarterback got injured, okay? That's why they didn't make the
being
playoffs.
left out of the playoffs.
Had nothing to do with Kirk Herbstreit. So I think they were so zeroed in on that, still zeroed on that. And I think he doubled down with guys that didn't fit his philosophy and what he wanted to do, guys that were former big recruits like Marvin Jones Jr.
Right.
Brought him in there, and it just didn't work. And then the worst move of all was bringing DJU in there, and it all fell apart. And I think this offseason he was like, no, screw it. We're going back to what I know best, and I'm shutting it down. And they did. And they went out there and they played lights out in that game. You got to give them a ton of credit, man.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now, because you think about it, the shutting it down part, I get it. I feel like he was trying to, like you said, wall everybody else off, insulate everybody inside the program. It's we are one, that type of stuff. But then also just the organizational change from the coordinator level to the intensity to the attention to detail level. They played with intensity and attention to detail, which if you go back, Florida State has suffered from some of that. And he was on them big time during this offseason to make sure that the accountability was up.
Tony White's one of the best DCs in the country.
Yeah.
We all know what Gus has done. I think he saw what Tommy Castellanos did to his team 2 years ago, that unbeaten team in Boston College, where they won by 2, and Tommy threw for 300 and ran for 100. So if you look at all of that, I think it's as much that as it is the entire offseason prior to last year.
Yeah.
All they talked about was the season before when they got screwed. Mm-hmm. And I think he was done with that. I think he was done with the whole idea of we got screwed. Why did this happen to us? This is Kirk. It was Kirk Herbstreit and ESPN and the SEC, and we're getting out of the ACC and we're going to the Big Ten and all that nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now this offseason, he's like, no, we are playing ball. And I think that's what they did the entire offseason. Yeah. Just about ball.
Yeah, got to give them credit. We'll see where it goes from here, because they do look like they were shot out of a cannon in terms of what people expected.
Rick Ballou here. Thank you so much for watching 1010XL Seminoles on YouTube. Before you click away, please like and subscribe to this channel. Be sure to check out other team-specific channels on 1010XL Network and YouTube.